But I've heard you talk about the dying economy versus the new economy.
Yes.
What is the dying economy, and what is the new economy coming?
The dying economy is the economy that you were prepared for in the schooling system. So in the schooling system, they had this vision for you, and they said, you're going to work in an office or a factory or a construction environment. And basically they said, here's our vision for Lewis. Our vision is that you're going to do 15 years of school, and then you're going to do 25 years as a worker. Then you're going to do about 10 years as a manager, 5 years as a leader, and then you're going to do 15 years of retirement and die.
Wow.
Right? So that was the plan. Right? Whether you were aware of that or not. And for a long period of time, the industrial age, that was a good plan. From 1850 to 2000, those 150 years, that was a pretty decent way to approach what was possible for most people. But since the 2000s, and especially since 2020 when we had the pandemic, the way that the world works no longer sits like that. So we're now in this digital age. So for example, geography is not a big dictator of value anymore. So it was almost always the case that where you grew up was probably where you would work and live, and you would be basically within a 10-mile radius, and that was you. Now you could be contracting for a company on the other side of the world. You could be selling to customers in 150 countries. Your boss could be someone you've never physically been in an environment with. Your best team member could be someone who's in Brazil. Like all of this, all of this geography gets removed. Physical products and directly delivered services used to be the main engine of the economy. Now it's intellectual property, media, data, software are the main, and finance, main engine rooms of the economy. So we need to recognize that the future of the career looks very different to the previous one. So what's happening for the future is we're moving into a very high velocity economy that is fast action loops. And these little loops are, you notice a problem, you put together a small team to explore it, you launch something to test it, you scale up the team, you scale up the technology, you formalize it, you exit it, you move on to the next problem. And these are the kind of careers that we're seeing in the future. I don't know whether you're seeing this as much as I am, but I might ask a high performer these days, tell me, like, what are you doing for work? And they'll give me like 5 things. They'll say, I'm writing a book, I'm doing some podcasts, I've launched an agency, we're spinning out an AI software product, we're organizing a festival, we've got a live event that's coming up, right? And you go, how many hundreds of people are on your team? And it's like, no, it's just me and 5 other people, right? We're just a little group of 5. And these fast, dynamic value loops get created, and you can have several of them on the go. You can be a leader in one and a supplier to another. You might, on any given day, you might be a paid speaker at a conference, but also leading a team running your own conference.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, we have an annual conference called Summit of Greatness for the last 9 years, but I also speak around and at other people's events.
And you're writing a book, and so it's this kind of like plural career. And I don't know, can you relate to this idea of these fast little loops? Things happen quickly.
I mean, for the first 10 years of like running my business or businesses, I guess, I was doing that constantly to the point where I had, 15 different revenue streams within a business. And it got to the point where about 5 years ago, I felt like I was a 7 out of a 10 with everything.
Yeah.
Because I was doing too many things.
Yeah.
And it was almost like this fast action loop. Yeah, everything was exciting, and I took every opportunity, which led to me getting to a certain level financially and opportunity-wise.
Yeah.
But then I didn't feel like I was able to break through because I was spreading my time, bouncing around thing to thing every day to the next internal project.
Yeah.
That, wow, there's money here. Let's go do this. And people there's a problem. And
sure.
It's something I'm interested in. And I like this too. And I like that too. And I'm passionate. So do it all.
Yeah.
But that only works for so long until you get kind of burnt out and resentful of your business.
Yeah, well, just a quick interruption. I'm running a workshop that I think you want to be at. It is a workshop on the 5-step process for becoming a key person of influence in your industry. There's a reason that we do it live and it's not pre-recorded, and that is because we're going to interact. There's all sorts of workshop activities that we're going to do live. You're going to get so much value out of this. There'll be a link below. Register right now. Come and join me for a 90-minute Zoom workshop where I'm going to be live on there. We can interact, do Q&A. It's a lot of fun. You'll be doing it as a shared experience with about 100 different entrepreneurs from around the world, and everyone gets so much value. You'll be so glad that you did. One of the best things that you do all week, maybe even all year, maybe in your entire life. Anyway, see you soon. Back to the video. It's not a permanent state.
Yeah.
You feel that you've kind of like taken yourself and spread yourself too thin. So then you dial it back and you say, all right, I'm just going to focus on the highest value things. But what will predictably happen with you is that you'll get really strong at a few key things.
Yeah.
And naturally that's going to
Scale
expand
back.
out.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm kind of at that point where I'm ready to attract the next bigger things, right? It's like, maybe it starts small and it scales.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to take on, and it doesn't mean ready in the next day. If it's a year from now, cool. I'm ready when
the
it
right thing
feels
comes along.
like this is alignment. And it doesn't mean it's going to work, but it's like, yeah, this feels like it has the potential to really be exciting, be sustainable energy, renewable energy, serve and impact people in a meaningful way, and bringing in meaningful revenue where it's like a win-win-win.
And it just feels like a perfect fit.
Yeah, and I'm right at that stage where, I feel like we're ready to do that. But it has to be the right opportunity. And we're also, I'm turning down a lot of financial opportunities that are big.
Just not the right fit.
But I'm like, it just seems like too much of my time.
Yep.
I'm like, that's not scalable.
Yep.
And if I'm just doing it for a certain amount of money for the next 6 to 12 months,
That's not where you're at right now.
so much of my time, I'm like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the right thing. Wow. And that's kind of what's going to happen. So contrast that with the old model of you literally just get put into a job and you just only do that job, and then you've got a hobby on the weekend, and you kind of just on somebody else's path. So that was the old industrial revolution system. In this digital system, you've got to develop a sense of feel as to, am I taking on too much? Should I dial it back a bit? What should I say yes to? What should I say no to? So part of the new skill set that we need is the ability to be discerning.